Battling COVID-19 can be quick for some, but life-altering for others. For Nick's wife, Heidi, her debilitating long-haul COVID battle led to the unthinkable. Here's Heidi's story.
I met Heidi 28 years ago. She was one of the sweetest people, really funny, adventurous, very driven. She wrote for every major studio, wrote for Dawson's Creek, and then she also started a very successful blog.
Hey y'all, welcome to my YouTube channel. You can also find me at my blog, girltomom.com.
Heidi loved being a mother.
Giraffes, we found giraffes.
Giraffes!
Wow.
She was a completely involved mom at every level. Right before the pandemic struck, life was great. She was in amazing health. Our marriage was fantastic. Unfortunately, our offices were in a shared workplace, and sure enough, people were testing positive. And I'm pretty sure I brought it home to her. By April, she had COVID toes, and she had some mild GI issues. As the months went by, the pain in her feet was much more like diabetic neuropathy. She felt like she was walking on broken glass. So she was basically spending most of her days in bed with her feet propped up with ice packs on them. She started to develop these neurological tremors. It started small with her hands just shaking a little bit, and the tremors got larger and larger until her entire arms and torso would start to convulse, and that was terrifying. Then she started not being able to sleep more than 1 hour at a time, 3 weeks straight. It was like being tortured as a prisoner of war. That was the beginning of the spiral. After 13 months of dealing with COVID came the day I'll never forget. It was a Saturday. Traditionally, we would take our son to a play date. I would drive him over, come back. She was very despondent. I was sitting with her trying to cheer her up, said to her, like, I feel so bad for you, honey, because I know how much this hurts. And she sort of snapped at me, annoyed at me being sort of a Pollyanna cheerleader. And I just said, I've got to go get him now. They're expecting me and I'll be back soon. And when we got home, we walked up the steps to the second floor where the bedrooms were, and I was walking ahead of him, and our bedroom was on the left, and I opened the door, and there she was, and I closed the door super quickly. He didn't see anything, and I told him to go to his room, and he heard me give out a cry, give out a sound I've never given out in my life, and I just told him, stay in the room and do not come into our room under any circumstances. She had hung herself. When paramedics arrived and they got her to the hospital, the ER doctor said, I'm sorry, she's brain dead. And then I had to tell my son, which was the worst moment of my life.
When we come back, Nick is with us to share the warning everyone needs to hear.
Coming up,
Long COVID is far worse than getting a bad case of it for 7 to 10 days. It's even worse than ending up on a ventilator.
then
If you got the chance to talk to Heidi one last time, what would you say to her?
Talk to her all the time.
that's coming up.
Right before the pandemic struck, life was great. She was in amazing health. Our marriage was fantastic. Unfortunately, by April, she had COVID toes, and she had some mild GI issues. As the months went by, the pain in her feet was much more like diabetic neuropathy. She felt like she was walking on broken glass. She started to develop these neurological tremors. It started small with her hands just shaking a little bit, and the tremors got larger and larger until her entire arms and torso would start to convulse, and that was terrifying. After 13 months of dealing with COVID, she had hung herself. And then I had to tell my son, which was the worst moment of my life.